Hello, welcome back everyone. I'm finally live again. And I mean, it has only been a couple of days to be fair, but it just feels like forever. I don't know. I feel like because there was a few weeks where I was streaming like 4 times a week, that now that I'm streaming less, it's like, whoa, it feels like I'm barely streaming at all. But yeah, I think that this is going to be my last stream this week because I was supposed to stream tomorrow, but I'm probably going to be hungover tomorrow, so I don't think I'm going to be able to stream. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too negative. Maybe I should have more faith in myself. I don't know why my controller's there. I don't need my controller today. But yeah, I'm going to be playing Paranormasight today, which I'm very excited about. I was originally supposed to stream last night, but I ended up cancelling stream and changing my schedule because I found out that it's Jurassic Park's 30-year anniversary. Jurassic Park is my favorite movie. I do have a dinosaur tattoo because of Jurassic Park. And so my local cinema was showing it, and so I got to see it in the cinema, which was so much fun. It was so great. I was smiling the whole time, except for the bitch that was in front of me that was on her phone, and she was recording like the movie on her phone and posting it on her Facebook story. And it's like, bitch, put your phone away. And like, people say that it's like, oh, this younger generation, they're always on their phones. But it's like, no, it's the middle-aged women. They're always on Facebook. It's not the younger ones. But yeah, I guess I'm ready to get started with Paranormasight again. Ignore the fact that it says test there. I was testing on my chat box before stream because it's literally always broken every time I stream. Um, so now I have to try and remember what exactly I was doing. I guess these are the two that I can continue with. I think I'm gonna do Yako's one because I love Yako's storyline. So summary of the previous events. I'm so glad that it gives me this because yeah, I'm a dumb bitch. I've forgotten everything that happened. So summary of previous events. Bringing her friend back from the dead means she'll have to pay the price. Yako makes it home safely but still isn't sure about how to proceed with the curse. She worries about Mio as the night passes. That's right. I totally forgot that we just went home and left Mio there. Okay, so now it's 8 a.m. Oh, Mio's here. She survived. Oh, good morning, Yako. Huh? Yako, rise and shine. Huh? You're up. Huh? It's morning? Um, I. Are you okay? Can you remember your name? Duh, I'm the specter of the spirit board. Yes, I am the specter of the spirit board. No, no, don't fall back asleep. You must still be dreaming. Wake up. Yes, I'm Yako Sakazaki. Good. Oh, Mio, thanks for last night. Was everything okay? Yep, still alive. I couldn't dispel the curse echo or learn the identity of who used it, but I managed to at least get away. How? But in that situation, it's the best that you can hope for. I'm sorry I got you involved in something so dangerous. I meant to look for you as soon as the sun rose, but I was just so sleepy. I can't even remember when I fell asleep. It's okay. It's only natural to be exhausted after what you went through. Besides, I also feel bad that you've been wrapped up in all of this. It's supposed to be my job to prevent that from happening. Oh, Mio, it's not your fault. Oh yeah, you said something about that last night. Just who are you exactly, Mio? Oh, well, the truth is, I've been training in things having to do with the supernatural. Huh? You mean you can learn that kind of stuff like you would with flower arranging? I had quite the eventful childhood. Huh. That sounds like it must have been tough. Bitch, you're like 15, you're still in your childhood. Yes, it would take a long time to explain, so let's leave it at that for now. As fate would have it, I've ended up as the apprentice, or maybe more like assistant, to a notable paranormal expert. Schools have always had more paranormal disturbances because young people tend to be more susceptible to these things. I'm sent to schools that may experience something paranormal and put a stop to it before it happens. Wow, that's amazing. So it's like a part-time job you do while also being a student? Well, I do help maintain public order, but it's all part of my training, so I don't get any money. Okay, child labor. Oh, you've got it rough then. But still, that really is amazing. You were so cool when you faced off against the evil spirit. I never know if I should be happy when you compliment me like that. But anyways, that's why it's up to me to resolve any paranormal issues at the school, and why I'm going to look into the cause of all of this. But for now, let's head to school. Yeah. Oh, do you have your curse stone? Now that it's daytime and its power is diminished, I should be able to hold on to it. Want to give it a try? Right. I do have it, but... Yako. Is it really so wrong? Trying to bring Michiyo back, I mean? Michiyo? I can't approve of it. The rite may seem like a dream come true, but if it involves taking the lives of other people, then... Yeah, true. I want to make sure this whole ritual ends without anyone getting hurt. That's what I believe, and what I'll put before anything else. I'm sorry, but is it okay if I hold on to it? I mean, you don't even know if, like, it could still kill Mio if she takes it. Yako. I promise I won't use the curse, no matter what, but maybe there's some other way. I have this feeling that I shouldn't give up on the possibility just yet. That said, I'll help you, even if it's to stop the curses. For the Michiyo that still exists within me, I'll settle things so that we can move forwards. Aww. Okay, but if you ever feel in danger, you can give me the curse stone at any point. Honestly, if I were Yako, at this point I'd be thinking it's suspicious that Mio wants the curse stone so bad. Right. Thank you, Mio. Okay then, let's go. Okay, cool. Files updated. I feel like nothing scary can happen now that we're at school, right? Like during the day. I feel like this is not a scary... Oh, I mean, that looks like a ghost. I assume that's just students. Huh? I thought it unusually noisy. There's a big group of people and police in front of the school. Okay, so not ghosts. Did something happen? Yeah, do you not remember last night? If the police are here, then something must have. I'll go ask. Thanks. Like, remember the guy that you sent into that building? Maybe he died. This isn't good. Huh? What happened? Don't panic, okay? The first teacher who came to work found something this morning. Okay. Mr. Janucci was found dead in the middle of the grounds. What? They're closing the school for today. But that's not all. I didn't know this either since I didn't watch the morning news, but rumors are spreading that a number of bodies were found nearby. What? There's no way. I don't even remember who Mr. Janucci is. Why? Could it be because of the curse? We don't know enough to say. From what I heard, Mr. Janucci's body was in the middle of the grounds. But his body was covered in bruises, like he'd fallen from somewhere high. Weird. Taking into account his unnatural death and the timing, it's very likely it has something to do with the curse. You're saying that someone used their curse on him last night? Seems like it, doesn't it? But that's so scary. Yeesh. So the curses really do kill people. Yeah. And someone used it. Shh. Keep your voice down, okay? What would happen if another curse bearer heard you? Sorry. Okay, I need to read... Okay, Mr. Janucci. Was he the guy that was wearing the sweater? He was seen... Oh, he was the guy that was in the classroom. Right, okay. Okay, I remember now. I wish we had a little more information, but they've locked up the front gate. Maybe we should sneak in through the back entrance. That person over there. Isn't that Hitomi Okuda? You're right. That's unusual. So she's who he was with in the classroom at night, whenever the cursed stone was released, right? Oh, but she was at the school last night too. She must know something about Mr. Janucci. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, Mio, wait for me. Huh. So you're telling me the two of you were the ones at the school last night? No sense hiding it then. Plus, I owe you one, Mio. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you. She owes you? Oh, yeah. Right after I transferred here, there was a bit of trouble. She gave me one of those, what was it? Oh, exorcisms. What? Sorry, what? Huh. So that's what it was. Yeah, let's talk about the exorcism. Hitomi, were you possessed by some kind of evil spirit? I don't understand it all too well myself. What I can say for sure is, thanks to Mio, the weird symptoms that were happening to me all went away. Yep, some people were born with a natural sensitivity to the paranormal. They tend to end up isolated as they struggle to relate to the people around them. They also tend to draw in spirits to them naturally. This can cause strange symptoms they don't understand, like headaches, muscle stiffness, and hallucinations, even memory problems. I'm sure it must have been very hard. So that's how it works, huh? Do people also have their personality taken over when possessed too? It is possible with spirits who have a very close relationship to their target, like siblings or a parent and child. But you almost never hear about people being taken over completely. It's when the two parties aren't in sync that those negative effects can start to appear. So the seances or whatever you see on TV are all bogus? Why is Hitomi asking this? You're the one that has received an exorcism. Surely you should know a bit about this. Not quite. There are mediums and diviners who can align their minds with the spirits they call. Though, there are people on TV who are just putting on a performance. Huh. There are people who, in life, had extremely powerful spirit sense or a deep connection with the person. But even they shouldn't be able to completely take over the person they possess. And even if they could, it'd only be enough to pressure them to choose certain behaviors that wouldn't be unusual for them to do on their own to begin with. But if that's the case, wouldn't you not know if you were choosing that behavior of your own will or not? Hence why there are lots of cases where people don't even realize they're possessed. Though the spirit may influence the behavior and memories of the host, the deeper their connection in life, the easier it is for that to occur. I see. Getting possessed by a spirit is pretty complicated, huh? It must have been tough for you being possessed for so long, Hitomi. Whatever might happen to me doesn't make any difference. Me being able to see spirits and stuff has nothing to do with how things ended up like this. Yeah, it's not like being able to see them is your fault either. The same goes for me. Maybe it's just something we have to live with. I think you have a knack for it yourself, Yako. I bet you could see them too with a little training. Personally, if I were Mio, I'd be trying to steer Yako far away from the occult, at least until the whole curse stone business is over with. I think I may pass. Let's talk about Janucci's death. Did you hear about Mr. Janucci? Heard about it? I've known about it since last night. I saw that asshole bite it on the school grounds myself. What? You saw it happen? Tell us about it. What happened exactly? Don't really know myself. It was pitch black. What can I tell you? Ooh, dramatic flashback. It was almost dawn, probably around 3. He started freaking out all of a sudden, ran out onto the ground like something was chasing him, then screamed. Ah, somebody help me, forgive me, Michio. Or something like that while he was running around. Michio? He mentioned Michio? Was there anyone else on the grounds? It was too dark to see from where I was, but for just a second, I think I saw a girl in a school uniform with her hair in braids. Oh? I didn't go out to make sure, so it could have been nothing for all I know. Then I heard him begging for his life, like, I was wrong, and I'll do anything. Then all of a sudden, his arms and legs snapped, even though he was just standing there. His arms and legs broke without anything being done to him. He fell over and quit moving, so I thought I'd better get out of there. Are they not going to ask why she was in the classroom with him at night? Then he croaked. That's all I saw. I see. But from what you've told us, it almost sounds like Michio's ghost chased down Mr. Janucci and killed him. Hell if I know anything about that. I'm just telling you what I heard him say. Yeah, the classroom. There we go. Hitomi, last night, before you witnessed Mr. Janucci collapse, can I ask what he and you were doing in the classroom? Oh, she does not want to answer that. You gonna tell the cops? Oh, right. With everything that happened with Mr. Janucci, they'll suspect you if we told them that we saw you with him that night. Anytime something happens with someone like me, all those shitty adults start jumping to conclusions. I understand. I won't tell them. You wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. If you say so, then I don't mind telling you about it. Yeah, I mean, clearly the police know that it's something paranormal has happened here, right? So they're not going to suspect this girl. So last night, that piece of shit Janucci called me over here, acting like he was going to attack me or something. What? How terrible. Whatever. I'm glad he's dead. He had it coming. Calling people worthless and a cancer on society when he doesn't know shit about them. That asshole was the one always acting like scum, if you ask me. Is that so? This is way better than the reason that I thought they were in the classroom together. I thought he was having an inappropriate relationship with a pupil, but no, he was just calling them a cancer to society. Which, I mean, a little bit better, I guess. Could you tell us in more detail while he called you out in the middle of the night? It's hard to explain. Where to start? The classroom. Let's keep going. Okay. She does not want to talk about it. Let's talk about his misdeeds. What did you mean by Mr. Janucci acting like scum? Was he doing something bad? You know Michio Shiraishi, right? The girl who killed herself? Huh? Michio? I don't know everything, but that creep of a teacher had some dirt on her. And he was using it to blackmail her, call her up after school, and make her do whatever he wanted. Oh no, he did have an inappropriate relationship with a student. What? What do you mean when you say whatever he wanted? I'll leave it to your imagination. Nothing that a couple model students like you would ever get involved in. Oh no, Michio, no! No way, that's... How? What do you mean by dirt? I don't know anything about this. How could I not have known about this? Yako, I know how you feel, but try to calm down. You got guts acting like you were her friend. Janucci really did a number on both Michio's body and soul. Oh, that's horrible. She probably felt like she couldn't tell anyone, like she had to suffer alone. No, how terrible. Hitomi, how do you know about this? I just happened to walk in on it. I know the spots around school people go to when they want to stay out of sight. He ran off in a panic when I yelled at him, asking what he was doing. Walked in on it? Oh no, don't give me a flashback of this. I don't want to see. I couldn't just leave her alone, looking like she was about to cry, so I stuck around for a bit. She told me everything that happened in whispers. She probably figured I wasn't the type to spread that stuff around, until now, after she's dead, I guess. But she never asked for my help. She told me that she was fine and to keep it a secret. Michio, why? She probably thought she just had to grit her teeth till it was through. She was naive. I tried to tell her that if you give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile. She kept saying about how it was her punishment. She was soft. No. Oh, this is so sad. Oh, Michio, my heart. Of course, Junichi didn't change. He kept on doing what he was doing. I don't understand either of them, but that's as much as I was involved. And then she killed herself. Nothing I can do about it now. Wow. I mean, I think that if I were her, I would probably be overrun with guilt for the rest of my life. I wouldn't just be like, well, not my problem now. She's fucking dead. Can't help her. Hitomi, if you knew about it, then why didn't you... You trying to say it's my fault? I mean, it's not your fault. But you could have helped and you didn't. She told me not to say anything. She told me she was fine. So what the hell more responsibility do I have other than what I already did? Yo, big fan. Hello, Danny. Welcome in. Yako, there's no point blaming Hitomi. Michio, why? Okay, let's talk about the dirt on Michio. Did you hear what this dirt was? Nope, never heard what it was. But from the sound of it, he'd been blackmailing her since about a year ago. Oh no! For that long? The dick probably caught her doing something she shouldn't have been. She looked well behaved, but there's more to a person than meets the eye, you know? There must have been some reason. Dunno. Got nothing to do with me. Let's talk about her exorcism again. So that's why you do the job that you do, huh, Mio? I thought she was a weirdo when she showed up all of a sudden saying she was gonna exorcise me. If you hadn't said anything, I probably would have knocked your lights out. You tried to perform an exorcism on her without telling her anything? You see, in my experience, most people don't understand no matter how much I explain. They only accept my explanation after they see the results. That's crazy. Don't perform exorcisms on people without their consent. Huh. I guess that makes sense. The classroom last night? No, not ready. Janucci's death. Did you tell that story to the police? Nope, and I ain't gonna. Can't count on them for shit. Not like they believe such an insane story anyways. Right. But there must be at least one person in the police force worth trusting, right? I mean, she kind of works for the police. Yeah, I guess. There was this one cop who always got on my case about stuff. Oh no, the cop that died. But he died just the other day. Oh, he did? I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone who gets involved with me ends up dead. Maybe I really am cursed. Pisses me off. You've got it all wrong. The spirit that possessed you wasn't that kind of spirit. I mean, Yaku's the one that's possessed. Not possessed, cursed. Huh? It wasn't? You mean you didn't ask questions? I feel like if I found out that I was possessed and someone performed an exorcism on me, immediately I'd be like, do we know anything about this ghost? Like, let's talk about this. I want to know as much information as possible. Especially if she was going on about how, like, oh, it has to be someone that you had a connection to in life. Like, I'd be like, who the fuck was it? Yeah, this was just an unfortunate coincidence. Though, I'm sure that was hard enough for you. Who's the ghost? Okay, let's talk about Janucci's death some more. That's all I know about that asshole's death. Hey, Mio, I've been thinking something. The way she described it reminded me of something. The way Mr. Janucci died, it sounds a lot like how Michio died. Ooh, but Michio died before the curse stones, right? Of course, I didn't see it myself, but the state Michio's body was in, it was like she had fallen from high up. Could they have been killed by the same curse? I don't think so. The curses of the 7 mysteries hadn't manifested when she died yet, exactly. And if we can trust what the spirit board said, then Michio died in an accident. Oh, right. More about the death? What you described does sound like Michio killed Mr. Janucci. She did have a reason to hate him after all. So her ghost killed him? That's sick. I hope that's what happened. No way. You mean that really was her ghost? Like, for real? Those who die bearing strong resentment or regret can occasionally become spirits, either bound to a place or roaming freely. However, it'd usually be impossible for them to kill the living. Most don't have that kind of power. But I mean, this is like a supernatural area. So maybe she was just able to absorb the power from the area in order to kill him. I hope she killed him. It's what she deserves. But it's possible they could possess someone close to them to act on those lingering regrets. Huh. Wonder if that's what happened. Alright, then supposing what the spirit board said is true, and Michio's death was an accident, then she must have had some regrets. If she really hadn't given up on living, that is. I don't think she was the kind of girl who would just give up, no matter what the situation. I don't really know, but she didn't seem like she had something tormenting her so much that she'd kill herself. I mean, you can't ever say that. You can't ever tell. Okay, it's finally time to talk about the classroom. So, last night, how did it start? Ah, right. Remember that nosy cop I mentioned who was always on my case? You didn't say he was nosy, you said he was great. He died at the former Yasuda Gardens a couple days ago. Yoshimi was his name. He was part of the juvenile division. He didn't look like a cop at all. Real rough guy, but good at looking out for folks. So he was the only one I could talk to. Huh. So there was someone like that with the police. Too bad he ended up dying. Oh, another thing. One time, he suddenly introduced his fiancée to me. It was hilarious seeing a big guy like that act like a shy little kid all of a sudden. She told me that she was like me when she was my age, and that she was on my side. It must have been a terrible loss for her too. Yeah, I do feel a little bad for her when I think about how sad she must be. And I saw him at the gardens the night he died. Oh no. Okay, you know what? I think she is cursed. Everyone she sees at night dies. Whenever I would get worked up over something, Yoshimi would always took me straight to that park. Then he'd listen to whatever it was I was pissed off about. That day, he called me over there like usual. But something seemed off about him. Like, he was worried about something? Worried about something? Yeah. He asked me for a favor too. That was pretty unusual. A favor? What kind of favor? He handed me a weird talisman and asked me to hold on to it for him. That's not a curse stone though, right? Maybe it's to protect from curse stones. A talisman? Yeah, just a normal good luck charm. I figured if that's it, then sure, I'll take it. I have it with me now. But that wasn't all. Then he told me that he wanted me to look for a talisman Michio Shiraishi had that looked like this one. Huh? Michio? What does she have to do with this? Yoshimi had been meeting up and talking with her. While they were together, he noticed that she had a special talisman or something. But apparently, Michio always avoided the subject. A talisman that Michio had? I'm lost. I don't know where this is going. He said that I knew her, so that's why he asked me, he said. Or sorry, he knew that I knew her, so that's why he asked me, he said. Could there have been something that Michio couldn't tell even the police about? I mean, I'm assuming she didn't tell the police about the fact that a teacher was abusing her. I know things at home were a little complicated. Yeah, things at home were complicated, things at school were complicated. This girl was having a very bad time. I don't know why everyone's like, there's no way she could have killed herself. From what I heard, Michio was keeping her mouth shut about what Janucci was doing to her. Hard to talk with the cops when someone's got dirt on you. And I didn't squeal on anything about Michio either. Michio, what is it that had such a strong grip on you? So basically, Yoshimi didn't have his eye on Michio, but her talisman too. But after she died, he didn't know where it ended up. So, since I knew her from school, he wanted me to look into it for him. Is there something special about the two talismans? I wonder why he gave it to you. Hell if I know. When I looked inside it, there's just a weird, kind of grimy scrap of wood. So you've seen inside it. But from the way he was acting, it seemed important to him somehow. But to be honest, what he was asking is such a pain in the ass. I figured he had to be serious about it. It's a pain in the ass to hold on to a talisman. Just put it in your pocket, bro. How's that a pain in the ass? Oh, and since he died right after that, yeah, he even said to me, if anything happens to me, take these two talismans. Give them to a guy named Nakagoshi at the police department. Knowing what I know now, he probably felt that something was gonna happen to him. Nakagoshi? Do you know him, Mio? No, I've just heard the name, I think. So there really is a Nakagoshi. That's a relief at least. Anyway, it didn't feel right just ignoring a dead guy's last request. So did you find the talisman? Hitomi. Yeah? That talisman. Would you mind if I had a look at it? Sorry, but I don't trust you all that much yet. It's important to me. Oh, okay. I mean, I would definitely be giving it to the psychic girl, you know? I think that maybe she would find something useful. So, last night you were looking for the talisman Michio had? Yeah. And I figured that piece of garbage teacher would know the most about Michio. I asked him yesterday afternoon if he knew anything about her talisman. He gave me some cryptic response like, I can't talk about it now. Come to the school tonight. He even gave me the code to the lock on the back entrance. I mean, knowing what this guy was doing to other students, I would not be going to meet up with him at night. He seemed pretty willing to give it out, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's used it for secret meetings before. Yuck, I can only imagine. We climbed over the front gate to get in. So yeah, we met up in the classroom in the middle of the night. But nothing he said made any sense. Like that I was really Michio and stuff like that. He went on and on about how it was my fault and that if only I hadn't been around or something. He grabbed a hold of me, breathing heavily. Eep! Were you okay? Yeah, that's right when you two showed up. I was able to get away while Janucci was freaking out. Oh my gosh, good thing you got away. So it's really all thanks to you two that I got away. But I didn't get any info about the talisman, so the whole thing was sort of a bust. Afterward, I was wondering what you two were up to, so I hid nearby. Then I saw you and old man Ashimiya talking, and then Neo showed up. Oh, you did? That's also why I saw Janucci come back outside and bite it. I see. So you were only here to look for Michio's talisman. Interesting. And that's all I know. Happy? I think that maybe the talisman protects you from curse stones. I still gotta look for the talisman. Sure. Thank you, Hitomi. Oh, if you two find out anything about Michio's talisman, we'll be sure to let you know. Thanks. Oh, can we get your contact info? Where can we normally find you? Right. I'm not home most of the time. Usually I'm at a friend's place. Here's the phone number. Thanks. We'll call her if we need to talk with you. And, what is it? You're easier to talk to than I imagined. I was kinda scared at first, but not anymore. Shut up. You were the one avoiding me. Anyway, catch you later. And don't die out there, okay? That's such an ominous thing to say. Someone's definitely gonna die now. But I feel like it might be her rather than us. Thanks. We'll be careful. Oh, where are we now? Is this by the Sumida River? Alright then. We got a lot of new information. Sounds like Mr. Janucci was killed by a curse, just as we thought. Which means there was a curse bearer at the school. Multiple, in fact. Multiple? You think so? Yes. The curse echo we experienced in the school and the one that killed Mr. Janucci seem to be different. The people in the school at the time other than us were Mr. Janucci, Hitomi, and Old Man Ashimiya, who you ran into. Yeah, Old Man Ashimiya is the one that I suspect is the killer from 20 years ago. I was thinking it would be among them, but yeah, I don't think he has a curse stone. But, oh no, wait, because the killer from 20 years ago does have a curse stone. But I don't think that he does, because he looked at our curse stone, right? And didn't know anything about it. So maybe he's not the killer from 20 years ago. Maybe that was too obvious of a guess. But there was one more person. Hitomi saw a girl in a school uniform with braids. From what Hitomi was saying, it doesn't seem like she's one. Mr. Janucci is pretty suspicious, though. If he were a curse bearer, it would certainly explain why he was killed. Right. That's why I say there are multiple. Oh, right. The person who killed Mr. Janucci would have to be one too. Which means it must be either the mysterious girl or Old Man Ashimiya? Yeah, we should certainly be careful of them. That said, the mysterious girl and the fact that Mr. Janucci thought it was Michio that was attacking him has me wondering. Of course, I doubt Michio herself was actually there, but... Oh, I just remembered. I also saw Mr. Araishi outside the main gate last night. Right, but Mr. Araishi no longer has his curse stone, so he walked on by. You did? It's likely he's involved with the curses, given that he's the one doing research on the rite of resurrection. So we'll have to be careful of Old Man Ashimiya and Mr. Araishi. I want to believe that not all curse bearers will be hostile, but... As for what to do now, I'd like to find who is responsible for the Feast of Shadows that set this off and how they did it. I don't think we'll be able to end this without stopping it at its source. Huh, that makes sense. This seems like such a big job for two little schoolgirls. In which case, next we should do what exactly? We'll need to talk with Mr. Araishi. He definitely knows something. It should be safer during the day, so I think we should try to look for him. Got it. I'll help in any way I can. But the school is closed. I wonder where he could be. Neither of these girls have had any sleep. You need to go home and get some rest. Let's try heading someplace someone may know where he is. Where to go then? Ooh, where are we going? The candy shop is Yaka's house, I think. Hello, Joker Loki. Welcome in. Former Yasuda Gardens. Or Ryogoku Bridge. You know, I think I'm going to go to the bridge. I like the bridge. 9 a.m. Wow, that was a busy hour. A lot of stuff happening. Oh, who is that? Why is it spinning? And so, Mio Kurosuzuki and Yako Sakazaki decided on the next location to investigate. Oh, can I not continue? Oh no, I can. Oh, maybe I couldn't continue. Start from location selection. Oh, there's loads of locations. Okay, what if I go to the bridge? Maybe it just isn't going to let me do anything until I do the detectives. Okay, it looks like it's not going to let me do anything. Okay, that's fine. I'll do Tetsuo Tsutsumi's storyline. So, summary of previous events. Hajime Yoshimi's death, Nejima's threat of mass murder. The problems just pile up, putting the detective's goal of collecting all the curse stones in jeopardy. Tsutsumi leaves Ario to handle the investigation while he catches a quick break. Catching a break? Okay, Kinshibori Park. Sorry for the wait, boss, but I managed to gather some information. Took you long enough. Should we look at our surroundings? I think so. Forensics has finished their investigation, and the body's been carried away. That said, we're still closing the park to the public, at least for the time being. This place was really giving me the creeps last night, but it looks pretty normal now with the sun out. Let's look at him. He's been up all night gathering information. Must be nice to be young and have that kind of energy, but I'm glad to have him on my side. It gave me a chance to rest up. Maybe I should think? Well, we've got ourselves quite the mess. Strange deaths popping up all over the place that may or may not have something to do with the curses. We also need to keep looking into Yoshimi and Nejima. For now, we'd better start following up on the few leads that we've got. Guess I better see what Ario's found out. What is move? Boss, let's not go about this at random. We should think carefully about where and what to investigate next. Okay, so I should not move. Why does it give me that option if it's just going to tell me off for using it? Okay, let's talk to him then. Things at the station were pretty hectic, but I managed to get some info. Let me fill you in. Thanks. The floor's yours. Let's talk about the serial killings. A total of 3 mysterious deaths were confirmed in the area, including the one in this park. So, let's start with that one. The young man we found here. He's been identified as Shogo Oki, 25 years old, a regular old office worker who worked around here. He died of asphyxiation due to water in the lungs. He drowned. He drowned? In the middle of the park? That's not possible. It's gotta be a curse we're dealing with here. It's the guy from the prologue. About that, boss. Isn't this park associated with one of those 7 mysteries too? Fuck, I don't remember which one. Which one? Oh, it was the Whispering Canal, wasn't it? I think it might have been the Whispering Canal. Oh, or was it the Clappers? Yeah, okay, so it was the canal. That's right, the Whispering Canal, hell yeah. It does seem like there'd be a link between a canal and a death by drowning, don't you think? You know what, that's a good point. I am helpful, thank you. Sharp thinking, Ario. You're starting to get the hang of this. So, let's assume they're related. What's next? Before that, the body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamezawa. The victim has been identified as Tawako Hayashi, 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. Why are they targeting office workers? As for the cause of death, well, yes. The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong external force. No murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, we're looking for something large, flat, and heavy that could have crushed her in one fell swoop. Hang on, are you saying she was stepped on? Meaning, okay, stepping on. Is that the clappers? I think that might be the clappers, right? Or maybe the fool's procession. That sounds like stepping. I'm gonna go with the fool's procession. Boss? Oh no, I was wrong. Now Ario thinks I'm an idiot. Pretty sure the curse associated with crushing is the foot washing mansion. Why is this like an exam? I feel like I'm being tested. Alright, that's the one. The place the body was discovered is also known to be related to the Seven Mysteries. Then this is Namagaki's doing? Shit, I knew he'd used it. Judging by the amount of soul dregs, the victim was just a regular person, not a curse bearer. Guess we should report this to Paranormal Affairs. Got it. And as for the third victim, he was identified as Kohei Januchi, 32, a teacher at Komagata High. He was found in the school's courtyard. Cause of death appears to be external trauma from a fall or heavy blow. The impact crushed his legs and arms. Since he was found in the middle of the courtyard, he couldn't have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building. A teacher dying at school. And not just any school. Komagata houses one of the Seven Mysteries. Okay, I definitely don't remember which one this is. Oh. Was it the Evergreen Beach? No. Was it the Taiko of Tsugaru? I think maybe. Nope. The Fool's Procession. God damn it. I got 1 right out of 3. That's right. I was going to say that one. I swear. We can't rule out the possibility that this death was also the work of a curse. I see. Either way, it seems all 3 victims can be tied to the Seven Mysteries. There's probably a curse bearer at the center of it all, pulling the strings. But you've got a point. All these strange deaths do point in one direction. That's right. And Hajime's death wasn't all that different either. He also died of mysterious causes in a place connected to the Seven Mysteries. So there's, what, like 3 deaths in the places of the Seven Mysteries before the curses were activated? Yeah. Problem is that the timing doesn't match up. He died before the curses were activated. Could he have been hit by a different curse? One that didn't have anything to do with the Seven Mysteries? That's a thought. But if that were the case, we'd be dealing with a powerful practitioner. One who could pull off a curse like that without using a curse stone. There aren't many people in this day and age who could do something like that. Oh really? I see. I don't know too much about that stuff. You don't know anything about that stuff. You just found out the paranormal existed last night. I'd be more surprised if you did. Okay, we've probably got more to say to him. Yeah. I think I want to talk about Nejima a bit. HQ has mobilized a search unit for Nejima, but so far, we haven't received any word. Guessing he wasn't at home or work? About that, apparently he vacated his last known address a week ago. You serious? So we have no idea where he lives? Okay, so at this point, I'm assuming that if he was the caretaker at the school, I feel like we would know about it. Like, they would have made that connection. It gets worse. I checked in with the factory he was working at. Yeah, he was working at a factory. It's not the same guy. They told me he was only there for a month before he quit. Never mind, it's him. I take it back. Hold on a second. You're telling me nobody caught that? Well, I had the same thought, so I spoke to his probation officer. Turns out he'd been doing house visits and interviews, but never bothered checking in on his workplace. He also said he'd lost track of Nejima when he moved to a new place. Geez, That's just sloppy. I've heard that they're giving parole to just about anyone these days because they're running out of room in the prisons. What the fuck? Which also means there aren't enough probation officers to go around. Dude's probably overworked. So Nejima got to fuck around unsupervised. God damn it. That asshole is annoyingly good at faking remorse, or insanity, whatever the situation calls for. Back when I arrested him all those years ago, just talking to him left a bad taste in my mouth. He's probably hiding under a false name, which will make it hard to track him down. That'd explain why he so brazenly made contact. That asshole. He's mocking us. Well, for now, the paperwork to circulate his name and mugshot is being filed. That's gonna take way too long. We only have until dusk. Do they really need to file, paperwork and it's gonna take a full day for that? Considering that he openly made a threat to police officers that he was gonna kill everyone in the entire town? Surely that's just a, yep, we can get his mugshot out immediately. Okay, let's talk about the curse bearers. At the moment, we only know the identity of 4 curse bearers, you included. Yutaro Namagaki had the foot washing mansion, and Hideki Araishi had the ever-burning lantern. We've got both of their curse stones. And then there's Nejima, who claims he has the one-sided reed. Yeah, that about sums it up. We better figure out who the remaining 5 are, quick. How should we go about looking for them? There's no point in searching blindly without a lead. Let's focus on other things for now. Tracking down Nejima may lead us to the other curse bearers too. Either way, he should be our top priority. He could do some real damage if we don't get him. I also want to look a little more into Yoshimi. I've got a feeling that there's some connection there. Aye, boss. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Okay, let's talk about Yoshimi. I asked around Sumida's Community Safety Bureau, where Yoshimi was stationed. It sounds like he was investigating the apparent suicide of a girl named Michio Shiraishi. Ah, yeah, I heard about that. He was trying to determine whether it was a suicide, looking into the height of the building, the force of the impact, her wounds, all that. He must have suspected some kind of foul play, because he ordered a full investigation. I'm pretty sure someone that works as a youth community officer doesn't have the right skill set to be able to look into the forensics of that kind of thing. But it had already been deemed a suicide, and his superiors told him not to go stirring things up. Huh. What was the evidence? Well, according to the report I found on his desk last night, the body was found at the foot of a building, a ways across from the road. There was no evidence of vehicular collision, so it was ruled a suicide. But he thought there was more to it? Yes, a truck or other flat-faced vehicle traveling at high speeds could have inflicted similar damage. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look an awful lot like a fall. Is that real? I don't think that's real. Surely you would be able to tell whether the collision was on the footpath or not. I feel because if you fell, there would be markings of the ground on you. Unlike there would be markings of you on the ground. But if you were hit by a car, that would be totally different. I'm calling bullshit. What a terrible way to go. There were no brake marks on the road, meaning it would have been a hit and run. The vehicle would have hit her without slowing down at all. This is turning into quite the grisly case. But the vehicle couldn't have come out from a collision like that unscathed. Exactly. So I asked the traffic bureau to keep an eye out for any vehicles with frontal damage. But I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't think they're looking very hard. So we've got no proof. That said, if it was a traffic accident rather than a suicide, it's possible that someone silenced Yoshimi because he was on the verge of discovering the truth. That's true. You think the driver is the one who did him in? Not quite. Yoshimi had already talked to forensics and the traffic bureau, right? His death wouldn't have covered things up. You're right on that. Even if the suicide was a cover up for a hit and run, it doesn't seem like enough reason to kill a cop. Oh, that's right. Unrelated, but I got something else too. I managed to get a hold of Michio Shiraishi's address. Why are you acting like that's very impressive for you to do? I'm sure that's just on record. Yoshimi went there a bunch over the course of his investigation. Might be a good idea for us to drop by too. Good thinking. Hopefully that'll give us some more leads. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about Nejima again. Speaking of Nejima, yeah? Did you manage to reach your daughter? It'd be best to put her into protective custody as soon as possible. Not yet. I can't reach her. They called, but she's not picking up. Wasn't home when they went to the house either. That's not good. Does that mean she never came home? And why weren't you the only one trying to reach her? Shut up. I don't have her contact info, alright? Damn, she really doesn't trust you, huh? This guy's such a piece of shit. Either way, I told her mother that it was an emergency and that we'd send an officer to find her and get her to safety. She was real reluctant, but I got her to agree. I guess that explains why you got divorced. Are you trying to say that you got divorced because the wife was reluctant? Because I don't think that's what happened here. But if you, her former father, can't find her, how the hell did Nejima do it? I mean, he's had more time. Former, eh? That cuts deep. Yikes, sorry. Just kind of slipped out. Anyway, I suspect it has something to do with his curse echo. Back on topic already, huh? He said his curse could kill a lot of people in a short time. It may even allow him to act from a distance. I see. The one-sided read. What was that story about again? Something about a man stalking a woman who goes insane and chops her up. Ah, right. One of the more gruesome of the 7 mysteries. Let's continue talking about Nejima, because I think that's the most interesting thing here. As for Nejima's whereabouts, all we can do is throw more people at it till we find something. I'll check in with HQ frequently to see if they've got any updates. Okay. No more then. Serial killings. Well, looking at these deaths, it seems like many of the curse bearers acted last night. But we can't rule out that there were more killings from which the bodies haven't been found. Yikes! I hadn't thought of that. But there is one silver lining. Judging by my own curse stone, it seems that the curses can't be activated while the sun's out. Oh, that's great news. So basically, we're safe during the daytime? I mean, there's still a serial killer out to get you. I don't think you're safe at all. Exactly. It's also likely why Nejima gave us till dusk. Ah, he must have known the curse stones couldn't be used during the day. Either way, we've got till nightfall to settle this. It's time we flushed out the other curse bearers. Aye, boss. Let's do this. Okay, we've still got to talk about Yoshimi a bit. Remember the girl Yoshimi met with the day he died? One Hitome Okuda? Community safety didn't have any contact information for her on hand. Not even an address? Well, they had her parents' information, but when I called, they said they hadn't heard from her in a month. Lots of family issues from the sound of it. They even said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore. That's just not legal. She's 15. You can't just decide that you don't want anything to do with your child anymore. That said, she still goes to a school once in a while, so we might be able to find her there. Not sure we really have the time for a stakeout right now. Also, the school is closed. But she could be a key witness. Can't we have community safety track her down for us? We can ask, but it might be tricky to get it done today. For starters, Komagata High School is closed today. There we go. Ah, because of the teacher that died? That's right. Alright, but if it's not something we can do today, we may have to forget about it. Let's move on then. I think we're done. Oh no. I got some information about Yoshimi's family, or fiance, from community safety. Her name is Mayu Chuzawa, a 27-year-old. She works as a beautician in the area. Look, I even managed to get a picture of her. She sure is a beauty. But, oh boy, here it comes. But what? Community safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Not by phone or at her house. In other words, no response. Dead silence. There it is. Can't things just be easy for once? I find myself asking that all the time. Yeah, let's take a look. Curse echo. Oh, wait, does she have a curse echo? Or is that just on everyone? Oh, okay, so we don't know if she's got a curse echo or not. Interesting. You know what? I bet she does have a curse echo. Because it seems like the curse stones were given to people who have recently lost someone. Because the whole thing is that if you use it, then you can activate the right. Who's the storyteller? Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize that was a thing I could read. Oh, is that what Nejima looks like? That's not the guy at the school at all. Unless that's an old picture of him. Maybe that's from when he got arrested. Maybe that's not him now. I still have hope that it's the janitor. It's definitely starting to look suspect. A crime of passion, perhaps? It is fairly common for people to be killed by a lover or a spouse. But Yoshimi was well liked, and they've been together for over 10 years. You never know. Things could be different behind closed doors. I guess so. But we'll have to consider the opposite scenario too. It could be that the same person who was after Yoshimi is after his fiancée as well. She could be in danger. You're right. Either way, she's important to the case. HQ already has people looking for her. We'll know as soon as she's found. And that's about it. Shall we continue our investigation? We could go to Komagata High School to look into Hitomi Okuda, or Michio Shirashi's house to find out more about her. Ooh, okay, where should we go? I think... Oh. Okay, well, I cannot continue that one. Oh, no, I can continue. Or I could go for this one. You know what? I'm going to go for this one because it's been ages since I've done that one. And I love the detective. What's his name? Richter? Yeah. So, summary of previous events. Throughout the night, Richter continues to gather information about the curse stones, while Haru lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. Oh, that's so sad. You know, I feel like her plight is definitely the most reasonable. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? Okay, rude. He was working all night. Maybe he needed like 2 hours to sleep or something. I don't know. There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. Let's think a bit maybe. We may be surrounded by curses and death, but it matters little. My only concern is whether I can see my child again. Look at the mansion. This is the old mansion where I was born and raised. Okay, nothing else to see here. Surroundings. The town is beginning to wake up once more. The clamour of society can be heard from beyond the garden gates. Like any day, a cloud of pollution drifts out from the industrial area. Anything else? Wait, the bird is gone. The bird graffiti thing? Maybe it's just gone because we're not supposed to look at it for a second time. But it's definitely not there anymore. Alright, let's take a look at him. He's looking a bit tired. He must have been up all night investigating. Yeah, and then you were rude about him showing up at 10 a.m. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with the curse bearer and have them use the rite for our purposes. Oh? Come on now, there's no one that's like willingly going to do that. And also, you have to remember the fact that anyone who has a curse stone that's got enough dregs in it to bring someone back to life, the person that did that killed loads of people. Like, you're not going to be able to negotiate with someone like that. If they killed loads of people, assumedly it's because they have someone they want to bring back. They're not just going to be like, well, yeah, I did kill loads of people and put all that effort in, but you can have it. I don't mind. I was just doing it for funsies. I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect. What's the price of a life? Compensation. Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigimas, would it? Of course. Why, any amount would be fine if it'd get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did way back with the ransom. Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. Talk some more about the curse bearers. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. I mean, the only one that did was me during the prologue, but then time got rewound and that didn't happen anymore. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? This bitch is bloodthirsty. That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity, all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? Oh, I don't know, maybe people are just kind of reluctant to murder. There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. What? I'm sorry. I think that morally there is no difference between you baiting someone into killing someone or you killing someone yourself. You may as well just cut out the middleman and do murders. I think that that's just way easier. And then you also don't have to run the risk of trying to negotiate with someone to get their curse stone and then them being like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, you at this point, just go and kill people. Also, how do you bait someone into killing? Yeah, I know. Be like, you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't kill someone. You pussy. You're so lame. Seems hard, exactly. Just kill someone yourself. Grow up. And then we offer them the deal. About the kidnapping. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Komagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Janucci. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means the 2 people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shiraishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay a visit. Understood. Oh, everyone's going to show up at her house at once. About the curse bearers. None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if this situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it all off intended. Now, that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers? You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the right, this would be very risky, since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. Also, I feel like you can't choose to become a curse bearer. Like, it doesn't seem like it's something that you do on purpose. You're chosen, you don't choose it. So, it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right. But despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action, which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? There's still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. Let's talk about the serial killing some more. In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiraishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before the accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved, even with those killings. How? What if they were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries curses? Ooh. Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. Well, yeah, because you had him working all night long. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this will be a fine starting point. About the curse bearers. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there even is a rite of resurrection? I mean, no, you could have never been sure of that. Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Saying it might be for naught, do you want to give up, man? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. Serial killings. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. Okay, curse bearers. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. First, there's Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before, although she isn't a curse bearer herself. Oh, I love her. She was the one that was trying to find another curse bearer. She's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoriko Park. You even determined her address? You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. Is she flirting with this guy? Because I'm pretty sure he's gay. I called every single university with Yukio in the curriculum pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. It doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. No! Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her. And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. No more flirting. She's disappointed now. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones, just like us. It'd be best if we act carefully around her. More about the curse bearers. Next is the tall man who is dressed in black. I met him near Kinchicho. He stood out the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as the secretary to Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaki Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. You say that like that's not still the case. Also, this was set, is this not set in the 50s? This is now the 2020s, and people are still, they don't care about the environment. They care about their profits. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. Oh, I think this is the guy that in the prologue, he talked to Shogo Oki. And it was kind of weird and suspicious. And I think maybe Shogo Oki killed him, but that was like an alternate timeline that never happened. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the right would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare. What? Are they gonna bring someone back from the dead and be like, whoa, our beauty and skincare is so good that it even works on zombies? Huh. Now that's an interesting thought. Okay, more about the curse bearers. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soul dregs, right? Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. I'm pretty sure this is... what was his name? Dr. Uraishi? This is the guy that did the research on the rights, and he no longer has a stone, because the detectives have it. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient texts on the rite of resurrection? The one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Yeah, it's 100% him. Oh my, even he is involved? How awfully suspect. I mean, of course he's involved. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. Are we done? No. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hihaki Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down on the South Waragesi Street. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right. Let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go. Okay, so I guess we're done, should I think? Where should I go to begin my search? What places have stood out to me the most so far? Okay, what? Okay, so we can go to Komagata High School. We can go to that street, or we can go to Richo Park. I think I go to this street. That seems like it's the most important place. South Waragesui Street. The Hihaku Soaps headquarters are on the other side of the street. They were closed when I first visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. To think a small soap making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsu Yamamori is called the Queen. Ooh, interesting. She's a person of interest now. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary? That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. Is there anything else in the area surroundings? Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Waragesui Street ran through this area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinshicho Station or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. This is quite a lively area, huh? I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city centre. Okay, think. So an influential person at Heihaku Soaps is potentially a curse bearer. Richter proposed we use money to negotiate for the curse stones, but we could hardly outbid a large corporation if it came down to it. Okay, first, I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around, visit a cafe for some tea, perhaps? Okay. What if I look at him? He tells me he barely slept last night, and yet he seems to be brimming with energy. Well, that's a good change from the last scene where it was like, he looks tired. Was I too that resilient at his age? Perhaps it's what sets apart a detective from the rest. So is there nothing else to do? Do we go? Because if we talk to him, he just tells me to go get tea. And there's nothing else in... Oh, wait, I can still look at the building. I'm going to go in. I may be a while, so feel free to find somewhere to kill time. Okay, good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night, but it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Ooh, so maybe the lady that owns the soap company is the curse bearer, and so to protect herself, she's sending out her employee to go and do her dirty work during the night? Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night. However, you said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right. We lack time. I'll confess. I am a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Ms. Yamamori. Is that so? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you'd understand the power it involves, no? Ms. Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So, you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamyodo, who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? These are curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. Ooh, we have 6. 6? Wait, he's got 6. The detectives have 3, no? Or maybe they've just got 2. The math doesn't add up. He's lying. There's no way. Unless he's got 6. The detectives have 2. Yeah, no, the math doesn't add up at all. He's lying. 6? Whoa, I can rest at ease then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we are on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now? Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. Just give him a fake details. No big deal. And that's how it went. So, they aren't after the right after all? I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. Oh? I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. I don't feel gullible. I sussed it out. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. He seemed rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul dregs. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up with the occult more than ever before. If word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. Okay, we can look at the building again. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It'll be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. Okay, no more looking at the building. Surroundings? No. Just talking. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I've reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the Seven Mysteries. Yeah, it does really seem like it. It is very, very suspicious. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. Talk again? Oh, okay, we should leave. Okay, so I guess I'll go to the park since we're right next to it. But before I go to the park, I'm going to take a really quick break so I can grab another drink, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. See you soon. Hello, I am back. I'm ready to continue. And I guess now we go to Midoriko Park. Okay, let's go. We're here. This is Midoriko Park. Ayame Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking again. Think? It seems picking up Ayame's trail is out of the question for now. Why did we even come here? Okay, I'm sorry, it was a choice on the map. This place is connected with the story of the Taiko of Tsugaru. Not only that, Katsushika Hokusai's home was also in this area. That might be why Ayame chose to live here. Anything else for us to look at here? No, so I guess we'll look at Richter actually. It's always heartwarming to see children playing in the park. Richter seems to like kids, perhaps because they're on the same wavelength. Okay, that's so rude. Felix, stop it! Okay, I need to sort out my dog. I'm so sorry. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I guess we just have to talk to him now? We won't get much done standing around here. Why don't I go and check out Ayame's apartment? You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I'd prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. Oh, is he gonna break into her apartment? Oh no, seems like a bad idea. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Then, be my guest. Okay, it shouldn't be long. He's back. I'm back, ma'am. So, nothing? I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. Okay, so he did not break in. That's good news. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. Why would you check her electric meter? You were planning to go that far? I mean, what do you think a private investigator does, really? I feel like it's pretty normal for a private investigator to look at someone's mail. The electric meter is kind of weird, though. We won't make much progress sticking around here. So you want to leave? What a waste of time. We should move on quickly. Okay. Up to the high school, I guess. Komagata High School, front gates. Here we are at ground zero, Komagata High School. I guess it's logical that the police has got this place shut down. The teacher's body was found here, after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school's closed. Do they not have homes? Let's look at the school gates. It seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. Surroundings? The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. God, I can't imagine hearing like, oh, there's been like a murder in the area near me and thinking, you know what? I'm gonna go take a peek. I want to see a dead body. Like, that wouldn't even occur to me. Okay, so I guess now we talk to him. He appears to be wary of those police officers. I mean, yeah, I feel like police officers and private detectives are kind of not allies. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like in those detective novels. Well, yeah, because often a private investigator will do the job of a detective, but better. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled, since they don't know about the curses. Or so you think. There is a whole department that's about the paranormal. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. Inquire. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. Was that a mistake? Oh, maybe I chose wrong. I'm back, ma'am. So, what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Januccio and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. It was not dubious. He was abusing her. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought, but there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe that Michio is the one who killed Mr. Janucci. Really? The story's got two pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told the students. What? I'm sorry, a fellow teacher did what? That's insane. Be like, hey kids, you know that other teacher? He's like fucking hallucinating that the dead student is gonna kill him. Isn't that so interesting? This is so appropriate for me as a teacher to be telling my students. And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that juicy don't stay a secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around school late last night. How is that possibly being spread around as a rumor? Because the only one that saw that was Hitomi, no? Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio's the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumor might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. What? Why the fuck would a student have a list of everyone's addresses? That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of said list. What? That's bizarre. It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should have been confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no? People are dying. Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's now possible for us to visit Michio's Shiraishi's house. I guess we should probably go then. I can imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do them well to stay home for some time, if not for fear of their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. Are we done talking? Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right. I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. That was suspicious. Is it time to go? I think it's time to go. Yeah, we've got no more to talk about. Time to go to Michio's house, I guess, and meet everyone else that's there, which is probably every single person in the game. Oh, looks kind of run down. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shiraishi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and all the lights were out. It seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. I mean, maybe after the death of their daughter, they were like, we need to get away. I'm gonna think. I don't understand why no one's come to this house. even after Michio committed suicide. I wonder if this place is okay. Let's look at the surroundings. It's a bit quieter over here. It's a residential area after all. All these rundown row houses really scream working class, don't they? Okay, is he being classist? What was that? What was that sly dig? I've never liked these messy and cluttered back streets. They give me the jitters every time. It's reassuring to have someone as strong and tall as Richter accompanying me. He looks so unfazed. I suppose a detective is used to this kind of thing, always investigating and chasing criminals. I wouldn't be cut out for it. I mean, he did also mention that he's an outlaw, so maybe he's used to this kind of area for a different reason. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out that Shiraishi's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first, they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far, so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So, what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. Oh, this is so sad. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him not to hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shiraishi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed, even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. What? That's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Oh, my dog wants up, I think. Hello, you may have some attention. There you go. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Jesus, that's awful. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shiraishis entirely and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems that they were still considered outsiders, even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one's partner's personality does a complete turnaround after entering a relationship. And also, I guess her husband died and she was struggling for money, and I suppose that can make people kind of desperate. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Exactly. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. She's like, I don't give a fuck about anyone except my dead son. Ooh, I've collected all information on persons of interest. Does that mean I'm nearly done? Oh, so you came here too. Who's here? What is it? Uh-oh. Oh, is it the detectives? Ah. Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? Uh-oh. Why do they seem angry? Okay, so we cannot continue this storyline until we do these ones. I'm gonna go for this one. Yeah, with dusk fast approaching, they have no time to waste. With that in mind, Tsutsumi and Ario direct their investigation towards Komagata High School and the Shirashia residence. I knew we were going to run into everyone when we went there. I guess I should probably start at the high school and then go to the Michio's house. Okay, Tsutsumi's storyline, let's go. Here we are, Komagata High School. Classes are suspended for the day, so the students are just kind of wandering around aimlessly. Gymnasium. Komagata High's gymnasium also serves as a polling place and evacuation center. A lot of the buildings around here are still made of wood, but this place looks safe and sturdy. The news of the dead teacher has also attracted a fair share of rubberneckers. The atmosphere is kinda tense with this many cops around. Yeah, you're one of the cops, you're part of the problem. Yoshimi also looked after these students as a Sumida City officer. Juvenile delinquency has been a growing problem for years now. This school is no exception. Okay, and I guess it's time to talk to Ario. Let's look at him first. Is there something on my shirt? Don't tell me I stink. Okay, let's not look at him then. This place isn't only connected to the case because the students were under Yoshimi's jurisdiction. It's also the site of the Fool's Procession, and of course, where that teacher was killed. Seems like a likely place to find some clues, don't you think? Oh, that's right. Speaking of schools, what is it? You said Paranormal Affairs can't help us right now. So why don't we get that psychic high schooler you mentioned to help us? A lot of the people involved in this case lead back to the school anyway, so it might make things easier to have them with us. She is a child, bro. Like, don't put her to work. For a guy who just questioned me on the legality of working with them, you sure seem eager to exploit underage labor. All cops are bastards, bro. Hey, who said anything about exploiting them? I just want to give our young experts the opportunity to shine. Bro. When did you become such a smooth talker? Anyway, I'm afraid I don't know where they are. Oh, I see. I wonder if there's anyone who could help us scout out the area. School gates. The school gates will stay locked while forensics inspects the scene of the incident. Looks like they're still busy. Let's talk to the person in charge later. Okay, so I guess I'm looking for someone that will help us scout out the area. No? Think? Perfectly reasonable time for students to be at school. And yet, I doubt this will be that simple. I don't think there's anything else for me to interact with. Maybe I just need to go to Michio's house. Well, actually, the talk thing hasn't ticked yet, so maybe we can keep talking. No. Okay, we cannot keep talking. I keep thinking that maybe if I hover over some of these people, then something will pop up, but it looks like nothing's going to pop up. Everything's ticked here. Maybe I just need to go. Okay, I'm gonna go to Michio's house. Okay, let's go. It seems like Michio's house is at the end of this road. We don't want to intimidate them, so maybe I should go alone. Eri was checking the Shirashi house at the end of the road. The street's real narrow, so two big guys like us would stick out like a pair of sore thumbs. Oh? Alright, I'll go check the house. Surroundings? It's quiet. The place is normally pretty lively, full of people coming and going. But it seems like everyone's decided to stay inside because of the recent incidents. Think? So, the Shiraishi household. There's a chance that Michio didn't actually kill herself. It might be for the best that we didn't find her parents. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, he's back. Thought something scary was gonna happen. Oh, you're back. No luck, boss. No one home? Doesn't look like it. I knocked for a while, but nobody came to the door. I glanced in the windows, but there was just no sign of activity inside either. And I saw about 3 newspapers stuffed into their mailbox. Suspend? Oh, I guess that means I have to go back to the other storyline, maybe? Can I talk to him again? Ariel looks kind of disappointed. You cannot currently progress any further. Once your situation has changed, select resume to try again. Okay, so I guess I've got to do this one then. Resume. Start from location selection. Okay, not quite sure where I should go first. Kumagata Bridge? We're just gonna start from the top. Komagata Bridge. Okay. Is this the wrong place too? This might be the wrong... Okay, that's the wrong place. Okay, what if I try the high school? Maybe none of this is right. Maybe I should go back to the conversation and say something differently. I don't remember there being any choices in the conversation. This looks like it's just going to tell me that I can't do anything as well. Yep. Where am I supposed to be investigating? I don't get it. Okay, there's definitely no other storylines for me to do. Okay, let's try the candy shop, which I'm pretty sure is Yako's house. Yako's house. Sanoya. Okay, this also looks like I can't do anything. Yep. Am I stuck? Am I stuck forever? Wait, what? Start from location selection. Okay, let's try the Yasuda Gardens. Bro, I can't do anything. I don't get it. Okay, so that was wrong. Okay, to the bridge. Maybe I need the detectives to be at the school, and then we go to the school. Right, so what if I do that? Go to the school. Okay, so now the detectives are at the school. And then what if I don't know, story chart. Oh, maybe that's not... I thought maybe I could make them both be at the school at the same time, but now it's looking like no. From the school. No, because this is 8 a.m., so they're not at the school at the same time. But now I've gone back really far here. I don't want to do that. Huh? Okay, yeah, I don't need to go through all this again. Story chart. Bring me back to the story chart, please. Okay, so maybe what I need to do is start from the conversation. Maybe I did something wrong in the conversation. Or is this just gonna make me do the whole conversation again? It is, and the conversation's really long. I'm sure that's not right. Okay. It must be something to do with these guys, right? Let's go back to the household. Yeah, go back to Michio's house. No, this is just the thing that I just did last. What if I think? There's a chance that Michio didn't actually kill herself. No, I've done that already. Surroundings. It's quiet. The place is normally pretty lively. Nope. Done that already. Yeah, no, I've done all of this already. I don't get it. I'm stuck. Back to the story chart. Oh my god, I actually don't get it. I might Google it. I might cheat. I'm gonna cheat. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm cheating. Paranormasight walkthrough. There we go. Okay, this walkthrough is like broken down into everyone's paths, but the paths aren't linear. So how does that work? Oh, so right, no, I have to talk to a high school girl at the gates. Oh wait, no, maybe this is, oh no, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's see. What is this called? Hitomi's help. Simply exhaust the dialogues with Mio and Hitomi. At the end, you're prompted to choose a location to go next. Go to the high school. I swear it wouldn't let me go to the high school. Location selection. The high school, I swear I tried that. Yeah, I tried that and it just does this. Okay, so maybe now that leaves them at the high school. So now I have to go back to them and then go to the high school. And now they will be there. This is so complicated. Why is this so difficult? Oh, yeah, there we go. They're at the high school now. See, I feel like I tried to do this before and I just wasn't clicking it right. I think I like did it in the wrong order maybe. There we go. Now we can talk to them. Huh? That's... Boss? What is it? You want to talk to those girls? I do. Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. Yeah, Google. Google's divine intervention. Come on, Ario. Huh? What? Ooh. Finally, we're progressing. Hey, aren't you... You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who I've heard so much about. Say that again? Sorry about that. He's with me. Mr. Tsutsumi, if that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my working conditions. I agree. Good for you, girl. Stand up for yourself. I'd prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't you worry about that. If you help us out, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. Wait. Really? Thank you so much. I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Oh yeah, like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been. Let's go. We got ourselves a deal, right, boss? These girls are at our service. Hold on now. What just happened? I never said I'd... Sushi? Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? You know what? I feel like taking these girls out to sushi is the least that he can do. You guys are funny. You should do stand-up. Okay, time to talk. So, how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, then brought forth the 7 mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least, that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the rite at the locales of the 7 mysteries. We've managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach. You got 3 already? Wow. We have the curse stone of the Fool's Procession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me, Yako, the girl standing behind Mio. She does? Is she alright? We could take it off your hands. Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out. Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then. Talk to Yako, maybe. Huh? You want to talk to me? You'd probably be better off asking Mio. Okay, she does not want to talk to us. I'm gonna think. Sushi, huh? Well, if that'll solve the case, it's a small price to pay. I'll just expense it to paranormal affairs later. Surroundings. Forensics is still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring a kid to a place like this, but there were too many onlookers outside for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it would be good to have Mio look around the scene too. Mio Kurosuzi. She's like a disciple of the Paranormal Affairs chief. I've heard that she helps out with the investigations free of charge under the guise of training. Although she's my old boss's protege, she helped me out plenty while I was in Paranormal Affairs. She may look meek, but she's got strong spirit sense, sharp instincts, and courage, plus quite the brain to back it all up. That said, I can't help but think there's some kind of darkness following her around. Let's talk then. Thank you. Please keep collecting the other curse stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows. Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other curse bearers? Have you run into any of them? Well, last night at school... You were here last night? Yes. You see... Huh. You two were using a spirit board? That's so cool. So that's when you ran into the Curse Echo. I'm glad you survived the encounter. Somehow, we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The Curse Echo we saw took the shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg. What? A woman missing an arm and a leg? That's... I'm never going to remember the right one. Well, I know it's not the Haunting Clappers, because that's the one that Haru has. I know it's not the Whispering Canal. I know it's not the Fool's Procession, right? I don't think it's the Taiko of Tsugaru. Or maybe it was the Taiko of Tsugaru. Is it the one-sided reed? Yeah, because the one-sided reed is the one that the serial killer has. The one-sided read. This is bad. So the serial killer was at the school. Oh, it's definitely him. It's definitely the janitor. Huh? What's so bad about that one? You idiot. Think. The curse bearer of the one-sided read is Fumachika Nejima. He admitted it himself. That's his curse. Oh, that's right. Wait, but if that's the case, Nejima might have been here last night. What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? Who's Nejima? No clue. About Nejima, yeah, we gotta talk. So Nejima is trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes. Huh? He said he's going to massacre the city at sundown today? And he's trying to get to your daughter too? That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So, just to be sure, can you tell me who else was at the school last night? Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Janucci, and one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget Old Man Ashimiya. It's Old Man Ashimiya. Wait, Hitomi? Do you mean Hitomi Okuda, second-year student? Well, yes. Why? Boss? So she was here last night. I saw Hitomi earlier, though, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me. You did? Did you talk to her? Yes. Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that? Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid that she would become a suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. Ah, I see. I mean, Hitomi is clearly not Nejima. Don't worry, this is about a different matter. A different matter? You mean about that police officer? Mr. Yoshimi? You know about that? Did Hitomi say something about him? Yes, she did. Actually. Is she gonna snitch? Bro. Let's talk about Nejima some more. If we're talking about people who were at school last night, there was one more person, though I'm not too clear on the details. There was someone else? Apparently Hitomi actually saw Mr. Janucci getting cursed and killed last night. What? Talk about some vital information. What she said happened was... And I'm assuming they're talking about the girl with the braids? Yeah. Michio was the one who killed Mr. Janucci? Are you sure it was really Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there. That must mean that there was another curse bearer here last night. Janucci was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it was Michio or not. Damn, boss. Do you think it really could have been Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because the paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Nejima was behind Janucci's death. But what about Hitomi's story? Okay, let's talk about Hitomi's story then. Hitomi did say that Mr. Yoshima entrusted her with something. Yoshimi, sorry. He did? What was it? Yoshimi gave her a talisman? Yes. Apparently he also asked her to look for another one just like it. One that Michio had. What kind of talismans could they be? Boss? Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important. Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found? I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died. Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about this talisman. I'm not sure. She never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi, though. You don't seem like too bad of a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us. She was very wary of us. Well then, do you think she talked to Yoshimi's fiancé? Haven't they met before? Right, but no one can find her. She's gone. Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her. All right, then we better find her fast. You haven't been able to reach her? That's a little worrying. More to talk about? About Nejima. About this janitor. Ashimiya, was it? How old is he? Do you know how long he's worked here? Okay, see, now the fact that they're bringing him up, it makes me feel like it's not him. Because I feel like they wouldn't reveal it this early, right? Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? I only just transferred to this school though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him. I see. Thanks. I think I'm starting to get a better picture of all this. Huh? Oh my god, is it actually him? Bro, I'm gonna be so happy if it is. Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see. What are you... No way! Ario, have the officers apprehend the janitor. He worked the night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room. It's not him. There's no way. There's no way they find him this quickly if it's him. God damn it, now I'm disappointed. Yes, right away. Boo, it's so not him. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they'd been looking to question Ashimiya too, but couldn't find him anywhere. No. That all but confirms it. Hell yeah, it is right. But I mean, if you work the overnight shift and it's morning now, it makes sense that he's not at work anymore. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Ashimiya? The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it. Ario, call an urgent search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away. Oh, hype. Let's talk about him some more. Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that. To think he was so close to us this whole time. Oh, it gives me chills. A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at a high school. Let's hope it isn't already too late. Oh, I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night. What? I don't like this one bit. Nejima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then, could it have been old man Ashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? Ah, I almost told him that you were still in the building too. What? You did? I mean, I did tell him like 3 times. I'm so sorry. Yikes. Good thing I didn't say anything. You might have gotten very lucky there, kid. I want to keep talking about Nejima. This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law, help us. Okay, she doesn't want to talk about Nejima anymore. Fair enough. Let's talk about the mastermind behind the Feast of Shadows. Don't know why I keep calling it the Beast of Shadows. To put a stop to the Feast of Shadows, it would help if I knew more about how the curses of these 7 mysteries first came about. In that case, you're probably best off talking to that crabby researcher guy. You mean Mr. Araishi? I would very much like to talk to him. Ah, right. He's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would know him already. He might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking. Do you know where he is? I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers. The cafe? Oh, Kurokyo Cafe in Kamizawa? Thanks. We'll head over there now. School rules say we're not allowed to go to cafes, though. Huh? School rules say you're not allowed to go to cafes? What does that mean? Don't worry about it. I'll allow it. Thank you. Huh. That's all it takes? Let's talk about more of that. There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated all of this for a reason. I want to find out why. Okay, that's it. More about Hitomi. See, I don't want to talk about Hitomi because she's like, we promised we wouldn't talk. And then the first time someone asks us, we're like, we will tell you everything. Mayu Chozawa will let you know as soon as we manage to contact her. Okay, I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh, right. One more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters. What? So it was a Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that? Could you check on that? I will, but, well, I don't know if they'll pick up when I call. Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Well, yes. Nakagoshi's the chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All of Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to as Nakagoshi cases. Geez, what's up with that? I don't think he exists. That amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this mystery. Okay, we're done talking, I guess? Oh, we can still talk to Yako. What was that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first. Ah, I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Ario. All right. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though. Okay. After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide. What? A van? Speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay? Ah, is she having a psychic vision? Ah! What was that? A van. There's a young man in the driver's seat and a woman? Wait, I need to read that back. Yeah, there's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat, a woman. Ooh. Huh? Yes. Wait, was I? Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. Huh. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy there. It's no problem, as long as you're okay. That was quite the surprise, though. What just happened? Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give me any specifics, if you're wondering about that. So I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind either. Right. Why have we just, gone past the fact that she just had a psychic vision? Why does no one care? I care. Why are we not talking about this? Do you have any idea why Junichi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that, I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but I see. Well, I half expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. Michio, What happened? Okay, nothing more to say to her. What if we look at her? So this is Yako Sakazaki. She was with Mio. Could she be a friend? Did Mio finally make a friend? Okay, that's fucking rude. If she did, it would do this old man's heart good. But I better not say that out loud. I don't want to make her look bad. Okay, maybe I talk to Ario? This is one hell of a coincidence, huh? That this random girl you know is already involved with the case? Is that all he has to say? It's usually easier to let Ario do the talking when it comes to young people, but we only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. But he did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, so... Scene of the crime. What's that rope all about? It indicates where Janucci's body was found. They've moved his body, but this way we still have an idea of how it was found. Yikes, that's a little gross. Did they used to use rope instead of chalk? Because now I swear they do chalk in the ground, right? You can even see how his arms and legs are all... Ugh. Cool it, Ario, you're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because you were staring at it so intently. Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think? I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right. Traces of a curse still linger here. I figured as much. Does that mean Janucci was killed by one of the curses of the Seven Mysteries? Come on, I feel like we've established this already. Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace. Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It just comes with experience, I guess. No? I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat? Stop it, Mr. Tsutsumi. She's going to get the wrong idea. Whoa, that's amazing. Mio, you're a professional. You think? Totally. You're cool even in the face of death. That's awesome. When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. Okay, we still got more to look at here. Hey boss, forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance away from the scene. What is that? Oh, I was hoping it was going to be the talisman. A ribbon? Yeah, the kind you use to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's the ribbon Michio always used to wear. What? Doesn't that mean that Michio was here? Are you sure? Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. That has to be hers. Then, did she come back to life somehow? I mean, the guy that worked at the soap company did say that the dead had already started being resurrected. But how? Okay, that's done. Maybe we can talk some more. If I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Janucci, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Maybe that's why her family haven't been found. Because Michio's ghost killed them. Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision? If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. You know what? I think she deserves it. She deserves to kill those that wronged her. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start a search for Nejima and Mayu Chozawa. It might be worth it to check on Michio's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the officers hanging around here. Got it. Thank you, and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Araishi about a way to lift this curse. Alright, boss. Let's get going whenever you're ready. Okay, I think oh. What is that? I swear there wasn't like a shadow of a person there before. I think I'm done. Yeah, everything's done. Maybe think again? We'll leave the curse lifting to the girls while we go look for Nejima and Chozawa. There's also the matter of Yoshimi's talisman. But we won't get anything done staying here. We better get a move on. Okay, we're ready to go. Okay, cool. You know what? I think I'm gonna do this storyline. I do love Yako and Mio, but I'm very interested to see how this plays out. So, Haru and Richter visit Michio's home, having determined her to be a key player in the unresolved kidnapping case from a year before. As the complicated story begins to unravel, they encounter two men. And it's the detectives. Ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our county's most elite detectives. The name's Jun Ario. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, it's nice to meet you. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Tsutsumi, and yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting me or putting me down. So you two are detectives? This is my client, Ms. Haru Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. A bigwig named Shigima? But boss, you know of this guy? Shit, I've heard the name, but you know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons? There's no need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Yeah, what would your father think if he knew that you were planning to trick someone into killing someone so that you can resurrect your dead son? Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time. Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that. You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Well, you won't find any dull cops here. We'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto. How lovely. Keep it up. Just hold on 1 second. This is the first I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. Okay, I think I want to talk to Ario. What brings you here, Richter? You want a case? That's right. I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year? Oh, I remember now. You're that Haru Shigima from the kidnapping case. Huh? Did I miss something? Don't be an idiot. It was the case where Munesada Shigima's grandson was kidnapped. Which must have been your son, ma'am? Indeed, the story was suppressed by the news. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part. Most of the investigating was conducted in secret. And unfortunately, the department is unwilling to reopen the case. Any investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. So your findings have brought you to this place then? That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right. As of last week, they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. Let's talk some more. It sure doesn't look good on the police to be mishandling cases like these. If there really was a culprit, it should be our responsibility to bring them to justice. What do you mean, if there really was a culprit? Do you think that her son kidnapped and then killed himself? Because I don't think that's what happened here. Well, I do consider the police my people. So, you consider the blame to be shared. You've gotten a stern side as well, I see. Okay. By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you. And that is? Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Honjo? Ooh. Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly... With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady. If you insist. What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything? I don't know much. I've heard of the 7 mysteries, but this talk of curses eludes me. Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around. Wait a second. I assume they were talking about you, investigator. Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was out here last night to conduct my investigation. Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary. I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. I can't promise I'll be of any help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you've got to say. Something is happening in Honjo, isn't there? It must be something big if they've got you head office guys on it. Well, I guess it's all right. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Thank you, boss. Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. Ooh, this is exciting. The storylines are merging. So by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Honjo. It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. We figured the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to the curses. To get this situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? Ooh. That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo-jumbo to play into this all. But if we're talking shady characters... There was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Waragesui Street. He had an average build. He was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think? Well, considering the location, it could have been Hideki Araishi. We already got his curse stone. Yeah, it was him. Impressive! You two are working quick. Did you see anything else? Not that I can remember. Oh, so we're not going to tell them about the soap factory? That's a shame. If you see any characters who look like they might be carrying a curse stone, it'd be a huge help if you let us know. Absolutely. I'll let you know if I find anything. Richter, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too. What? The police asking a private detective to help them? I think not. There's a number of people we can't track, and finding missing persons happens to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What do you need a private investigator for anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Huh? By the way, that reminds me. Richter... Yes? You said the person who used to live here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiraishi, by chance. You knew? I thought so. Seems like we're here for the same reason then. Seriously? Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi? Oh right, Hajime Yoshimi's. That's right. He died on the job. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Hoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio. Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. You think she had something to do with the kidnapping? Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn, I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure, to tell you the truth... What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one that killed Mr. Janucci? I don't believe that. I don't think that's the case. So, he wasn't just mumbling nonsense? I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet, but the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we found point in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those, psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's all true, then did you figure something out? Kankichiro Iwai. Huh? Kankichiro Iwai. He'll be the next victim. We have to open the door to the Shiraishi's house. We need to look inside. I personally think we should just let that abusive piece of shit die. I mean, like, if he dies, what's... Like, there's no negative consequences to the world. The world might, in fact, be a better place. Hey, what's gotten into you, boss? I'm sure the landlord would give us the key if we asked. Screw that. You know how long that could take? We can ask for permission later. Richter? Hey, Richter, calm down. We can't just... See, this is why private detectives cannot work with the police. Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Everyone, come quick, look at this. Oh. Oh no, what a shame. Ah. Whoa, what's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in here. Whoa, could that be Michio's dad? No, Michio's stepdad. Michio's dad is already dead. Nah, he's her stepdad at best, if that. It's got to be the body of Kankichiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it. That man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Ario, did you find Janucci's body in the same state? Now that you mention it, it looked as though Kohei Janucci had died from a number of heavy blows. What are you suggesting, investigator? It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. She used the power of the curses to get back at the men who ruined her life. Good for her! That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's got to be that. And if she's alive, then... Ooh. Oh, what's he got to say to me? My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? I personally don't think it, but I think that if she is, good for her. Consider this. What if Michio Shiraishi never died? But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? Do I? And so, I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? Huh? I don't know. Is there a graveyard? I think she's dead. She wasn't at her house because her stepdad was killed last night. I'm sure she wasn't at the high school because everyone was there, including the police. Bridge? Was she in the river? Yasuda Gardens. Shigima residence. Bro, am I supposed to know? Honji Bridge. Have I even been there? Where is Honji Bridge? I'm torn between guessing the river and this bridge. I'm gonna guess the bridge. Huh, I see. So that's what you think. Let's take a moment to reconsider what you know and choose again, shall we? Fuck! The river. She's in the river because she's dead. Oh no, I'm still wrong. God damn it. Okay, maybe she was... I don't think she was at her own house. I don't think she was at Yako's house. I can't see why she would have been at the Shigima residence. Maybe Kinshibori Park? No, because we went there. The bridge. Nope. Okay, see, now I'm just like straight up guessing because I have no idea. Oh my god, I'm never gonna get it. I'm actually just gonna go through all of them. Maybe she was at Yako's house. Oh, congratulations, you're correct. She was at Yako's house? But we were there. No? You got it wrong 5 times. Well, it's a trivial matter. It may have been easier to reach that conclusion had you considered the cause of death. Let's get back to the story then, shall we? I've taken up enough of your time. What does that mean? You just said that she didn't die. What? So you really think Michio Shiraishi is alive? Just think it through and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but do you really think that girl could have managed all of this? First of all, Ario, go report this to HQ. Understood. I'll get on it right away. I'll start investigating this place. It sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs a looking at. There's a bunch of photos of the same person pasted on the wall over there. That's Nejima! Huh? Whoa now. Hold on. These photos. These are all of Fumichika Nejima. Gross. Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. Oh, there's even more pasted up over here. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Nejima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around. Wait. Is her stepdad Nejima? Can we look at his face? There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kankichiro Uai. You've seen him before? I heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation. Is this what a curse does to a person? Ma'am, it'd be better not to look so closely. Okay, so he's not Nejima. It's amazing. She's got bloodthirsty! There are old books scattered everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in a foreign language. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. Look at these. Pictures of Fumichika Nejima cut out from newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You'd think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to Nejima's case? Perhaps they did this as not to forget a grudge or something. It's crazy to think Nejima might be involved in all of this too. Do you think he might have anything to do with the body here? Maybe. That man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today, he'll be going on a killing spree. Oh dear. There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's managed to get a hold of the bastard. So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Nejima murders either. You don't say. That's right. We talked about it last night. Oh yeah, she was the one that found the dead body in the river that got him convicted. 20 years ago, I found the hand in Sumida River that brought the incident to light. You don't say. You were the kid from back then? You were really brave. You did a great deed. Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea. So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried that Fumichika Nejima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am. You might be right. Unfortunately, that asshole is quite the resentful type. Oh dear. That asshole. I wonder who put the idea into his head. And now he's got the one-sided read too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Honjo at sundown. Seriously? On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter. Damn, it's quite the threat. Certainly you can't afford to stay put here. The fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head. Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Iwai and Fumichika Nejima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Nejima's location. Let's hope so. Ooh, so we should look... Oh, what's in the drawers? This drawer is really old. Chief Inspector, do you mind if I look inside? Huh? I mean, in normal cases, only the police would be allowed to touch things, right? Right. Ario isn't here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here. Not much variety either. Can't say they were big spenders. Well, I was hoping to find a kind of talisman here, but I guess we're not so lucky. I see. Thank you anyway. Let's look at his pictures. It's the same man in every picture. Is that Fumichika Nejima? Wow, this is quite the spectacle. I don't think I'll ever manage to erase this from my mind. Don't worry, Richter. You're quite the spectacle yourself. I don't think that she should be comparing him to Nejima. Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? There's still something to look at. These aren't just cut from publications. They even snapped a number of shots on their own. They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures? Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. The cutouts. The person who put all these photos up must have been obsessed with Nejima. They might have had some relation to Nejima's victims, or perhaps it was the opposite. The opposite? What if it wasn't loathing, but admiration? But then... This sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits in the frame. Wait. Is Yako possessed by Michio? And that's why Michio was at Yako's house. I think so. I think that Yako was possessed by Michio. And that's why Michio was at Yako's house at the same time that Yako was at Yako's house. I think that Michio is the one, or Yako is the one that has killed these people. The sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits in the frame. Is that it? Should we look at the... Oh, floor? It's off-putting to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is. They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time, they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about it. Oh my, who knew the Chief Inspector was such an expert on the occult? I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject. Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it all. And now they are dead. Decorations? They're candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual? Hey, don't touch anything, you hear? Ah, that's right. Considering this a murder scene, we should leave everything as it is. All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensics toys with it, it'll cause trouble down the road. But the books, though. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later. Oh, we can look at the corpse some more. Cruel is what it is. Okay. Floor. Looks like these things spread around here have been like this for quite a while now. This ritual, or whatever, was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night. You think Iwai was the one chanting? Hard to say. Could have been one of the Suraishis as well. If we look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were trying to do. Okay, so now we can look at the books. Finally. Oh, there's a window too. With the window and the storm shutter closed, no light gets in here at all. It's pitch black. The neighbors mentioned they started to keep the house shut like this not long ago. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it if I wore gloves? Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead. Thank you. Huh. This seems to be a book on Western black magic. The same runes are written here, alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you'd call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though. You think this OI guy was studying them? Perhaps to perform some kind of ritual? There are a bunch of handwritten notes besides the grimoires. Whoever it was, they were serious about this. OI doesn't look the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But why would he be studying black magic? According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again. This over here seems to be a black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous. It wasn't Iwai, he's the human sacrifice. Resurrection? Like the rite? I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons. Books again? What is this? This looks like a journal. It's probably Iwai's. A journal? His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh wow, now this is something. What is it? What did he write? This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So, this Kankichiro Uwai fellow, he'd been searching for a spell to restore youth for years. So he was into black magic from the start? He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire. You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar. But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. Yeah, because Uraishi, he was being funded to look into the rite of resurrection too. It seems that Nejima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison. What? That's nearly too much of a coincidence. Likely not coincidence. It seems like Awai took an interest in the Nejima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he was fucking in love with him. You might even say he worshipped the man. Worship? Nejima of all people? This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. Hey, stop it. Iwai has been collecting these photos ever since that time. And since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Nejima, he made sure to get in contact. This is a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this. The thought of Nejima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. I don't think we've ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection? To be honest, it's a shock to me too. For years, we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Nejima murders. Yup, it's been a mystery to us all from the very start. Whoa now, wait just 1 minute. Do you think... No way. Are you saying... That's right. The murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. Oh shit. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Nejima. You've got to be kidding me. So that sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic? That's what the evidence suggests. However, Nejima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but Iwai had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but that doesn't refute that Nejima and Iwai were both acting in earnest. This is batshit insane. You're telling me that nutjob did all this for some hokey-pokey resurrection? Shit. Resurrection. That means there must have been someone Nejima wanted to bring back to life. So that's why he's now looking into the rite of resurrection. Damn, that's it. That has to be it. Fucking hell, it all makes sense now. What? What is it? I totally forgot that she was even here. She should not be here. This has nothing to do with her. So, about the Nejima murders, there's some information that's been kept from the public. Go on. When we broke into his house and arrested him, we also found a baby. Was the baby dead? A baby? It was a girl, looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died. Oh no, this girl is gonna be someone in the story, isn't it? Oh, thank you for the lurk, Danny. I appreciate it. So was Nejima the father? He told us he'd found her under a bridge. He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but to think it really happens. I suppose there are cases with dead newborns stuffed in coin lockers, so it's not without precedent. Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. But there's one rumor from back then that I could never get out of my mind. And it's starting to sound more likely now? Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe that Nejim is guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then, a lot of girls went missing. Yeah, I remember all of that. Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or should I say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant. So he killed a pregnant girl, regretted it, and resurrected her baby? Goodness, that's horrific. He killed her and dismembered her body, and we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside of her. Don't misunderstand me. This is all speculation on top of more speculation here. But I, for one, never believed that man would just take a baby in he found under a bridge. I'm feeling sick. Yeah, me too. Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear. Like I said, don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. Now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play, we should consider the possibility it was his child. And that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true. That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Nejima would want to resurrect, a deceased wife is as good a guess as any. The fact that he obtained a curse stone suggests he has an interest in the rite of resurrection. Damn, you're right. And here I was thinking he was only after the curse's power to massacre. But who is he? Who does he want to resurrect? Because he also has a curse stone. Chief Inspector? Yeah? What happened to the child? Without a birth registration on file, best we could do was find the girl some suitable foster parents. It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future. Well, I'm glad she was taken care of. I feel like it's one of the girls from the story, right? Oh wait, no, because it was 20 years ago, so she would have been 20 now. Maybe it was is her name Ayame? The girl that's a university student? Old books. Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in Uai's journal. We know Uai had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol, Nejima, while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had a chance to get rich quick. Right, he thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic. Correct. Turns out someone gave him the idea. And get this. It was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Huhaku Soaps herself, Natsu Yamamori. Ooh. Wait, the chairwoman of Huhaku Soaps? So that's where this leads. Here, let me read what he wrote. The queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. Magic, rituals, and rites. She'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth, and the like. So I'm guessing she's the one that funded Mr. Araishi's studies. So she would even throw her money at the occult. The places greed will take you. Well then, that brings us to Hideki Araishi. She presumably funded his research into the rite of resurrection as well. That's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Heihaku pounced at the rumors of the rite of resurrection. It's starting to sound likely. It might also be why she's spreading the rumor about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for her if she becomes young again. Godly powers? What's that all about? Oh yeah, we did not tell him about that. You can ignore that. Either way, I think Iwai took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shiraishi family, Michio and her mother, Toshiko, were just his unlucky marks. He wasn't exactly keeping a low profile, but being a horrible, abusive piece of shit, though. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am? Huh? This has something to do with me? Are you saying that... No, you can't mean... You realize then. Perhaps... Kankichiro Uai's living sacrifice was a child. Her child. That's exactly it. Iwai moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young. Oh no, of course, that awful man. So it was Iwai, this man. Iwai worshipped Nejima, so he must have also despised Nejima's detractors. Not to mention he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. So he killed her son because she's the one that caught Nejima and also her dad's police. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Nejima, embarrass the police, and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time? Fuck! You've got it. Iwai kidnapped Harushigima's son and managed to score 3 birds with 1 stone. You're telling me then that hard man, he never had the intention of returning my child. I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force. It all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses and then kidnapped him on his way back home. That man, he took Shuchi. Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe. You don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid, stupid idea from a stupid little man. Okay, ma'am. Let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we go get some fresh air? I can't believe this. This is... Oh my god, poor woman. Chief, I think it's best we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in his journal. Oh? Iwai got in contact with Nejima last year, after Nejima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support. Is that so? He managed to find a hideout for Nejima to stay in. Damn it. If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shiraishis, it seems most went to Nejima instead. If Nejima's lurking around anywhere at the moment, it's probably in that hideout. Did he write where it is? Unfortunately, no. Not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Nejima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up among other things. What good is that information? The girl's already dead. Wait, no. She's alive. That's right. Michio Shiraishi is alive. If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout too. Investigator, I'm asking you. I should be going. The lady's not well. Damn. Persons of interest updated, but I got like an achievement to say that I already updated all information on persons of interest. That's weird. Why? Why would we take her here? This is a place of trauma for her. Are you feeling better now that we've gotten some fresh air, ma'am? I'm fine. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right, but Richter, I feel grateful towards Michio. Because she killed the kidnapper? There's that too, but it's for something else. If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Soul drags, I mean. Hey, Richter. Whether the kidnapper's dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. And if Nejima is planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. Oh, she's lost it. She has lost it. I won't give up on resurrection. Uh-oh. So, I'm counting on you. Okay, there's so much interesting stuff going on, but unfortunately, I do not have time to keep going. I do have to end stream now. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who hung out, everyone who chatted, everyone who lurked. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be live sometime next week. I don't know. But yeah, I will see you later. Bye!